graders. This is Miss Taylor. We're going to talk some more about economics today. Specialization and interdependence. Specialization, long word. Looking at the first part of the word special, that can help us remember that specialization is when someone focuses on one product or service. For example, a nurse specializes in taking care of people, perhaps in a doctor's office or at the hospital, right? A teacher specializes in teaching students. A mechanic specializes in fixing cars. So that would be when people, human resources, are specializing in the service they provide, in the job that they do. When someone focuses on producing one product or good, that is another way that they can specialize. Look at an example. In Canada, there are a lot of maple trees. That would be a natural resource. Now, if you look carefully, there are some capital resources here, some tools attached to the maple trees, okay? And they are taking out something very cool from the maple tree. They're taking out some sap from those trees, the sweet sap from the inside of the trees. Then they bring it into another building or perhaps a little factory. It's kind of like a kitchen. And they use this capital resource to create something you may enjoy eating on your pancakes. That's right, it's maple syrup. Yum. Canada specializes in producing maple syrup. And all the people that produce that maple syrup are called human resources. Here's another example. This man in Brazil is growing. What do you think this is? Coffee beans, that's right. So the coffee bushes are growing coffee beans. They look like berries. Then they're dried and roasted, and that is what is used to make coffee. So he would be the human resource, anyone who is growing or picking, drying the coffee beans. The coffee plants themselves and berries and roasted beans, that would be the natural resource. And all the tools being used to do that would be the capital resources. Brazil grows more coffee than any other country in the world. Brazil specializes in producing coffee. So as you can see, by thinking about coffee and where in the world it is grown, and maple syrup, we can see that specialization can happen on a kind of a large scale. All right, well, what if I live in Canada and I want to drink some coffee in the morning with my breakfast? Or what if I live in Brazil and I want some maple syrup on my pancakes? That's where trade comes in. Trade is the exchange of goods and services for money. Now, sometimes you might trade or barter with someone to trade with them. Maybe you have a brother or sister, and sometimes you trade with them. So maybe you have a stuffed animal that they really like, and they have a game that you really like, and you decide to trade or exchange those goods, those items. Here's another example. A girl goes into a clothing store and buys a new dress in exchange for $20. Money helps us trade. You are a part of trade. You buy things, or your family buys things. You use money. You buy and use goods made all over the world. And if you look around at all of the goods in your home, the tags of your clothing, at your electronics, look and see where those goods are made. Lots of labels will tell you. You may have olive oil made from Italy, clothing made from China, maybe something made in the United States. People from around the world trade goods with one another. Goods are things that can be bought and sold. Interdependence. Two or more people depending on each other for goods and services. Like Brazil depending on Canada for maple syrup, and Canada depending on Brazil for coffee. Let's review. Economic specialization occurs when people focus on the production of one type of good or service. They can become an expert. People and regions. Regions are large areas like Brazil or Canada, often specialize in the production of certain goods like coffee and maple syrup and services because they cannot make everything they need or want. We can't make maple syrup in Brazil because the maple trees don't grow there. We can't grow coffee in Canada because the coffee plants don't grow there. So lots of this is impacted by our natural resources and what is available to people. Specialization encourages trade because people want goods and services that they do not have. I may have maple syrup, but I want some coffee. I may have coffee, but I want some maple syrup. People trade when individuals benefit from the trade. Oh yes, I know my breakfast sure benefits when I can have coffee and maple syrup. People trade for things they need and want, but do not have. Thanks, third graders.